Baturdays. Baturdays. Omnidog and the Minister of Comics. Talk forever, get right your ergonomics. Taking questions from the chat. With a name like that, you think they talk more about the facts. Baturdays. 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 In the BatCave.
Heyo, welcome to Baturdays in the BatCave. I'm Omnidog with Omnidog's Fault, and this is the Minister of Comics. How are you doing, Minister?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. I feel like it's been a while since we've done a show. Oh, we were both sick last time.
Yeah, last time you said, hey, I'm really sick. I can't do the show. I said, I am too, so doesn't matter.
But I was sick and by myself, and you were sick and had a whole family that was sick and
Yeah.
had to take care of little children and your wife. Was Murdoch sick?
He was the only one who didn't get sick. So.
Well, he should have been able to help.
Yeah, you think so.
Yeah.
But not so much. Yeah, being sick isn't great, but being sick with sick toddlers is even worse.
Oof.
Because you still have to be responsible and still have to take care of them. So, yeah, it was pretty rough. It was a pretty rough scene.
Yeah. And you don't really even know what it was.
No. At this point, I don't really test anymore because it's like I'm sick. I don't get other people sick. So it's like whatever it is, you know?
Yeah. I get that. So one thing that happened today, let's see if he's in the chat. Oh, yeah, he's in the chat. I was doing a show with Bar this afternoon about my stacks of shame, and Cycle DoorDashed me a burger and shake from Five Guys.
Oh, really? Wow.
I thought he was kidding. I wasn't caught up in the chat, and Bar was just reading the comments because I had my iPhone set up to take a picture of the stacks of shame while I was talking to the audience and stuff. And so Bar was reading the comments, and I thought Cycle was kidding, but Bar asked me what I wanted on my hamburger and what kind of shake I wanted, and then she said, Cycle says to go upstairs, and then the Ring doorbell said, someone is knocking at your front door. And Cycle DoorDashed me a cheeseburger and a chocolate shake right in the middle of the show, and it was awesome.
How did he know your address?
He sent me comics before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what was great.
It's dangerous for Cycle to know your address.
Not if he's sending me cheeseburgers and shakes. It was awesome.
That's true.
So we got through the stacks of shame to find like 10 books that I was going to read, and I promised Cycle that I would read Goiter, an issue of Goiter, part of it. Cycle Cleveland says to tell you knock knock. Right. And here's Mallory. Good to see you twice in one day. Mallory, how are you doing? Chris, hey, Omnidog. Oh, hey, you have my respect already. You got Harley as your avatar. I know this is Bat theme stream. Rarely, actually. Not
really.
Yeah, we call it Baturdays because it's catchy.
For the first 6 months.
But are you looking forward to Chip Zdarsky's Spider-Man run Omni coming out next month? I have a decision to make because I do already, of course, have all his Spectacular Spider-Man in trade, which is how you all got that omnibus. You're welcome. And I have the deluxe of
Life Story.
Do
you have the what was the story he did with the symbiote, the What If story? Do you have that one?
Was that included in the deluxe, or was it?
No, it was like a What If story about what if he never took off the black costume. What was that called? I have it somewhere. I can't see it from over here.
Oh, What do you have it in?
It's a trade paperback.
Oh, it's a whole trade.
Yeah. Oh, Spider Shadow. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Spider Shadow. Oh, there's Freddie. What up, Freddie? Spectacular 1 through 4 life story and Spider Shadow.
Yeah, it's frustrating because I got the life story trade paperback, then I upgraded to the deluxe, and now it's like I kind of feel like I need to upgrade to the omnibus because I don't have any spectacular of that run. And some of those trades are hard to find. So I don't know. I've been not upgrading, but there's material in there that I don't have. It's like a decent amount of comics, so
yeah,
I think I kind of have to.
I don't have Spider Shadow, but now that you just said Spectaculars, maybe I can sell my trades on eBay enough to afford the Omni. But then I'd be stuck with the Life Story Deluxe.
I think I might still keep the deluxe because it'll be easily accessible to read on its own.
And it is great.
Yeah, so I might just keep both because sometimes I might want to pull out the life story and just read that by itself. That's one of my favorite Spider-Man books.
Right, same. Here's Mary M. Good to see. I'm seeing her twice one day. That's nice. Not in the deluxe. Psycho yelling. What are the tangents? Yes, we'll get to tangents quite soon. Oh, Freddie says favorite dynamic duo. Yeah. Dr. Elevator's here. Welcome. So, it was all a dream regarding the thumbnail. Comic Book Report gets the thumbnail, and that was all Taylor's idea. And here's Aria. Yeah. Newhart starring Omnidog. I'd watched 10 seasons. So a lot of people get the reference. Good job on that.
I was wondering.
Yeah. It makes me want to watch that finale again.
Wait, so it was the Bob Newhart show. What was the other one called? Just Newhart? Yeah.
Newhart. Yeah.
Trying to remember.
I think the Suzanne Plachette one was Bob Newhart.
Yeah.
And then the Bed and Breakfast one was Newhart.
That was a pretty big deal whenever it came out, right? I feel like everybody was pretty excited about that ending.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was considered a hilarious twist that nobody saw coming.
Wasn't it like he gets hit in the head with a golf ball or something? Or
I can't even remember. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Cycle. Okay. Cycle. Did you actually eat 100 McNuggets? Now my wife is demanding Swenson's.
I don't know. I think isn't Cycle a pretty clean eater? Pretty healthy.
Yeah, but for some reason he took like a McNugget challenge. I was kind of wondering about that. Because I saw him discussing somewhere, in the Discord, that he ate a bunch of McNuggets. Ugh. I don't even eat McNuggets, although I'm interested in their new dipping sauces, because I think they're supposed to be interesting. Here's classic Omnidog NCC 2016. Let's take a trip down memory lane. 2016 and 2015, both big classic memories for me in comic book memories, collected edition memories. Glad I can catch up. JT Whitewolf. Glad I can catch a bit of this one live. How's everybody doing? M40 is going to pass on Spidey. Chris, I got to get Matt Fraction's Hawkeye reprint and the Zdarsky Spider-Man Omni next month. Here's Bunka Master. How's it going, dude? Jess, what DC runs should I read after reading your highly recommended Hit Me? What? Wait a sec. What DC run? I didn't highly recommend Hit Me. Are we talking the same thing here, Jesse? hit me with Kristen. That was a book that I said people. I enjoyed it, but that people should kind of stay away from. Even though I enjoyed it, I was afraid for other people to read it because it was kind of really touchy subject matter. Cycle 875 McNuggets. Blah. And Craig Ferguson had an awesome final episode reference to that. And here's my Discord where it's happening in there. It's hip hop happening. One McNugget is too many McNuggets. Oh, here's Batmanda. What I love that avatar, and I love the name Batmanda. There's a frequent manga chat commenter that tried it and got a lot of attention, including a big shout out. Oh, from Simon Hanselman. So I guess I felt like I tried to one up him. Oh, Simon Hanselman, one of your indie comic dudes, creators. Went toy hunting today, and now I need to rearrange my shelves. All right. That means you spent and got fun things. What did you get, Batmanda? What are your toy interests? I'm interested in, first of all, the hunt is part of collecting fun. It's like 99% of it is the hunt. So I'm interested.
I don't really have any more things to hunt, I don't think, at this point. I think I pretty much have all the stuff I want, because I know I wanted the Venom by Rick Remender for a while, but now I'm getting those epic modern collections. That's good enough for me. The Wonder Woman by Gail Simone omnibus is getting a reprint. That was a big whale because that sold out day one. Remember? That
was that a COVID thing?
That was like one of the first days of COVID, and it sold out like day one. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was like within like minutes, it was just sold out everywhere.
Was that one of the first omnis that was like that, or was it just part of the blur?
I think it was pretty early on in that blitz.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I really wanted that one, so that's coming out. I mean, Venom by Rick Remender. I mean, the one thing I really need is The Punisher by Greg Rucka. But what I'm thinking is they'll probably end up doing like a modern era epic of that, I would guess.
That sounds right.
Unless they do an omnibus, but Marvel seems highly embarrassed by the Punisher at this point, or ashamed of him, so I feel like they're not going to do any more.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
They haven't done any. I mean, minus the Jason Aaron series, they really haven't done anything with him at all.
Yeah, I think Torrin Grinbeck is doing the newest one. That seems to have everybody all spun up around the axle, but I haven't read it yet.
You know, a lot of people got really mad about The Punisher by Jason Aaron, the latest run. And I think most of those people haven't read it. They just heard about what happened on Bleeding Cool or CBR, because I read it and I really loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And again, it's comics, guys. It's going to go back to the status quo at some point. I don't know why people continue to get mad.
Was that Jason Aaron's Punisher?
Yeah, that's great. And I've thought about buying those trades, but I keep holding out for one day. Maybe they'll do something, but they probably won't.
Well,
because it's not big enough for an omnibus, and they don't do deluxe editions anymore. So maybe I should just buy that.
That's really the killer, that they don't do deluxes. So if it's not big enough for an omni, then it's probably going to get a modern epic, since we're not getting OHCs anymore.
But you know what route it could take? The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man by Tom Taylor is getting a thick trade, I think, this month. And they're not calling it a complete collection. I don't think they're calling it anything. It's just like a thicker version. So maybe they'll do something like that for that Punisher run. Maybe. You just never really know.
No.
So I really enjoyed it. I read it on Marvel Unlimited, and I really thought it was great.
Friendly Neighborhood?
Well, yeah, I have those trades. I meant The Punisher by Jason Aaron. It gets a lot of hate, but I think most of the hate is from people who didn't read it and just kind of read a summary, and the summary makes it seem worse than it actually is in terms of what happens. Because if you read the story, it makes sense for what the ending is. Okay. And again, it's comics, and you know it's going to go back to the status quo at some point. I don't know why we get so mad about everything.
People like to get mad.
It's like the Hydra Cap thing, or what was there? Oh, Superior Spider-Man. People hated that at first, and they missed it whenever he went back to the status quo. So it's like a rubber band. It'll snap back, right?
Yeah, and Superior is now considered like a modern classic. And
right.
was so upset about it. Yeah, I always prefer to watch or read something before I make a judgment. I know that seems odd in today's environment, but I'm not going to get mad about something until I actually read it, and then I'm still not going to get mad. I'm not that heavily invested in this stuff that if they change his chest insignia, like, okay, whatever, it's a comic book character, just relax. Peace and love, whatever.
One day, all these things are going to end up in a landfill and not exist anymore. So let's not get bent around the axle about it.
Yeah. Chris also says, I did watch an old stream of yours talking about, Alias Jessica Jones. It inspired me to buy it off Amazon. Still need to crack it open, but I'm looking forward to it. Awesome. I'm glad that, was that something that you and I did? Did we read Alias together for like a crime corner?
I think you did it with, who replaced me?
Joe? I thought you and I did it.
No, because we never ended up doing it. I think that was the plan, but then I wasn't able to do it anymore.
Oh, I don't.
But that is a great. I need to read that. That's like one of the first omnis I ever got. I need to reread that.
That was one of the earlier ones I got too. Speaking of where to buy books, of course, Organic Price Books, code Omnidog for $2 off and 5% off shipping 4 more books together. Omnidog, ship it together. I'm working on a new shorter code that's just Omnidog sit. Ship it together, Omnidog sit. See, it works 2 ways there.
Well, I have a question about that, Jess, and if you can answer it on air, we can just talk about it later. But are they able to tell you how much like people use your code? Like, do they ever say anything about it, or is it just they're happy with it and they're just like, okay?
I
wasn't sure.
No. That's a good question. Because
if you
now
can't
that
answer it right now, that's fine. I was just curious.
No, I can't answer it necessarily because there's actually, usually I haven't heard anything about how I'm doing, but I know I'm there's I'm hemming and I'm jibbling around because you really don't know how you're doing. But I did find out that there's like and I don't even remember how to get there now. There's a there's a get to know us page on Organic Price Books that has a list of people that give out codes.
Mm-hmm.
And I am in second place as far as performance goes, apparently, because I found out when I interviewed JP and David with Jake from Brave and the Boys that he has them listed on the page in order of, I guess, people who do well with the code giving out. Who do you think is above me in number 1?
Probably Very Fine Condition.
No.
Oh, does he not get sponsored by them?
No, he's on the page.
Oh, is it OmniBuddy?
Yes, it is.
I wasn't sure because I think Omar gets. I don't know who his sponsors are. I'm not really sure.
He's got everybody.
Yeah, I thought he had a bunch of other ones, so I wasn't sure. I just assumed because he had the biggest channel that made the most sense.
Right. But yeah, it's Mitch, so which is actually really good for him. I'm glad for him because he
works hard for that, I think.
He does. Yeah. Let's see. Wait, what's happening here? Nice seeing you both live again. Thank you, Johnny from Finland. Let's see. Yeah, that I still haven't read that. You loved that, right?
Yeah, that was actually one of my collecting memories. That was the first time I went to that honey hole that I took you to. Is I found because you can look up their stock online.
Yeah.
And I was looking up on Comic Hub where I could find the Greg Rucka complete collection, or maybe I think it's an ultimate collection. Because remember they had ultimate collections and they called it complete collections. I think it
Yeah.
was back when it was called Ultimate, and I found that there was a store within like 30 minutes of me, and that ended up being my favorite go-to
Oh, that's
place.
how you discovered the honey
Yeah,
hole?
that's how I discovered it. I knew it existed, but I didn't know it was that great. I didn't know there was that many good books there. It's like 30 minutes away from my house.
That's
So it's
the
not
one
like
in the abandoned shopping mall?
right, the one where they have motorcycle lessons in the parking lot.
There's
Yeah,
like
so
one store left and it's a comic book store.
well, they have other stores, but it's pretty much a ghost town there. It's a
Yeah.
surprise that it's still alive and that they still keep the doors open. But the comic store is great. I mean, you were there. That was probably our favorite one out of all of them, right?
I think so. Yeah. I had a lot of that. Actually, this is a good collecting memory because I had fun overall in Pittsburgh with you, but that was, we had already finished our, what kind of shakes were they at Planet
Midnight Cookies
Milkshake
and
or
Cream.
whatever?
We were just there tonight with the kids. Sam
Oh,
wanted
you
the
were?
milkshakes. We went to the milkshake factory, and I got my Midnight Cookies and Cream.
Oh, right. And did we carry the milkshakes in with us, or did we
No,
already
we
finished
finished them. So we had them at the beginning of our trip, and then we had them at the end of your trip.
And when we were in there, this was the greatest. When we were in that honey hole, that first honey hole that we spent like 2 hours in, and what did you say? I doubt there's two happier guys on earth than us right now.
Is there any happier person on earth right now than the two of us?
Right, because we had just finished our milkshakes and we're finding all these out of print books at the time.
And you got a lot of books. You got a lot of books overall, but you probably got the most at that first shop, I would think.
I think so, yeah.
And the best part was I have an account at this chain of stores, and they have like a crossover of all you can gain reward points through purchases. So Jess would always go first since I had the account, and I would just I saved probably like, I don't know, $50 or more because you bought so many books. It was awesome.
And I just gave my points to you. I said, here,
Right.
just hit my friend up with the points.
Yeah, so that really worked out well for me.
Yeah. That was a great memory. That was so much fun. That whole weekend was fun.
We had pizza. I had my breakfast sandwich I made for you.
Oh, that got the weekend off to a great start. That was a great breakfast sandwich.
We had the milkshakes. We had permani sandwiches. We had burgers. I think that was most of what we had.
Burgers.
We went to Stacked on
that
the
was
last day.
Yeah.
We went to the store with the Pittsburgh dust.
I still have that Harley statue. I like that one. The Pittsburgh dust.
Yeah, that was definitely a great collecting memory. That whole weekend in general was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Punisher's appearance in Zdarsky's Daredevil was pretty good, which I still haven't read yet.
I'm still holding out hope they're doing that final deluxe.
I know.
They have to.
I felt confident they were, and now I feel less confident. I feel like Very Fine Condition is getting conflicting signals, and he can't give a concrete answer because I don't think it sounds like they don't even know yet. It doesn't sound like BFC himself even knows. So I'm also, if it gets orphaned, I will be very unhappy.
It'll kind of be like Tom King's final deluxe of his Batman run. That took like 2 years, remember? And you gave in and you bought the other like thicker trades.
I did.
But thankfully it finally came. I just like, come on, it's one more volume. Just put it out. I just feel like you've put out, like you make almost like a commitment to your audience. People have bought it. Just finish it.
Well, wait, was it in volume 1 of the Daredevil by Zdarsky was like a super whale? I think it still is a super whale.
They didn't make enough of that.
Super Laugh Hard sent it to me as a gift. So of course I got 2, 3, and 4, and now I want 5.
And I'm gonna get the Daredevil Rain. What's it called? Devil's Reign omnibus, because that probably won't. They never include the events in those deluxe editions. So I'm just going to get that omnibus. I don't want to have to like sell these or get rid of them and buy the other 2 omnis. That's just stupid.
Yeah, and that's actually a good collecting memory right there. That uh, Super Laugh Hard gifted it to me from the UK. That was amazing, and so I gifted him something back. Much like Cycle Cleveland gifted me lunch today, which was awesome. Let's see. Oh,
Freddie, what I meant was that the main event for Devil's Reign isn't in the oversized hardcovers, won't be in the oversized hardcover that we hope will come out, because they never put the events in the oversized hardcovers. But yeah, they'll put it in the Omni. But Jess and I are hoping to forego the Omni option since we already have the oversized hardcovers.
just not right. Super Laugh Hard is awesome. Yeah, both you and Taylor got something fantastic too.
Yeah, that was really great with the. Well, there's a lot of stuff. It was Officer Down, the Greg Rucker run, which I already had in paperback, but I'm happy to have it in an oversized hardcover format, and also the Bruce Wayne Murderer and Fugitive books.
Very fine said today, Daredevil by Zdarsky OHC will only cover his first series. His second series will not get an OHC. What are we talking about?
They, you know how Marvel often renumber stuff? And
yeah.
I guess he's saying they're only going to do hardcovers for that first run of stuff. And the second run, they're not doing that.
What? Okay, I'm kind of lost. There's 4.
What we're talking about is that there was the first initial run of Daredevil that Chip Zdarsky did, then they renumbered it. And what he's saying is that renumbered stuff hasn't been collected in OHC yet, and they're not going to. So we're going to have to get the omnis, I guess.
So, and the second series would have been in volume 5.
Yeah. That's so dumb.
That's a kick in the pants.
That's really stupid.
Freaking kidding me. After Devil's Reign and Woman Without Fear, DD gets renumbered.
I'm pretty annoyed right now.
Oh, this is bad. This was supposed to be a celebration of our good memories. Now we're creating bad memories.
But maybe we could just not get the first Omni and get the second Omni.
Okay.
But wait, so Freddie Alonso said it's only 14 issues. But
the second one?
But would it also include the Woman Without Fear miniseries? So it might be a little bit bigger, and they'll include some Devil's Reign issues.
Okay,
come on, it's one hardcover. Just do it.
So, Woman Without Fear, is it a trade paperback right now?
Yeah. Oh, it's in volume 4. Never mind. All right. I haven't read it yet, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been waiting for volume 5 to read the whole thing.
So what's going to be in the second omnibus then? Because maybe there won't be any crossover, and Jess and I can just get the second omnibus. That way I don't have to rebuy the first one. I really don't want to do that. That's going to be really annoying to me.
Oh, very much so.
Okay, so can somebody put up the issues that will be in the second one? If they can look it up.
Let's see. I saw Mary said something here. Where are you, Mary? My monster-sized Hellboy arrived. It's very monster-sized.
You know, it's really monster-sized how angry I am right now. This is worse. This is a worse betrayal than Dr. Aphra.
Yeah, that was nothing compared to this betrayal, the Daredevil betrayal. What about Fantastic Four by Slott and?
Oh, that's not going to be finished.
I'm asking. Well,
that newest hardcover is coming out in a couple weeks or like a month or two. So
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I mean, I think volume 3 or 4. I can't remember.
How about Jason Aaron's Avengers? Those are the last 3 things.
I never bought that because I didn't like it. So
I bought it because I'm that way. Well,
Jess, it looks like what we can do is that we can just buy the second omnibus and we should be okay. It'll be annoying, but I don't want to buy the second, because who wants to buy the hardcovers now that the omnibus is coming out and it's not going to be finished?
Right. I'm kind of confused. So if we get a second omnibus, Will it include like what's in volume 4
I don't.
on?
Okay, maybe it might be a little bit of a crossover.
Okay.
Okay, so there might be a little bit of a crossover. Wait, where's my? Let me get my Daredevil Volume 4, okay, to see what's on the back.
Okay. I know this is what I'm fearing. I thought they would at least finish out Daredevil, Fantastic Four, and Avengers. James has.
All right, so this Volume 4 has 31 through 36 and Daredevil One Without Fear. So there will be some crossover.
Okay, so is this what James has listed? What is this? What's in the second omnibus?
So basically, this is all stuff that would be in the second omnibus.
Volume 4.
Yeah, so it looks like the first omnibus is the first 3 hardcovers.
Okay.
So,
okay, so I can live with that.
So at least I'll have to buy the first omnibus.
Yeah,
I'm taking a stand. I'm not gonna buy that first omnibus. That's ridiculous. I'm just mad that they're doing this.
Yeah, same.
That's true, Freddie. I could always get rid of this, but I'll probably just keep it because it still look how nice this is.
Yeah, and it looks great on your shelf.
Right. That's so annoying. That's true, Freddie. We can skip the Devil's Reign omnibus because I don't care about all the dumb tie-in issues. So if Devil's Reign is going to be in that second omnibus, I don't have to get the Devil's Reign omnibus.
You know what? I don't know anything about Devil's Reign.
I just don't want to read the tie-in issues. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like there are good ones, but it's never like an essential read. Typically.
Yeah.
There are exceptions, but typically it's not essential.
Yeah. The thing with King in Black, the tie-ins, I just read a few of them. The Savage Avengers tie-in was barely a story. It was like half of a story and didn't matter. But the Black Cat tie-in was like a really, really good story and a whole huge big arc that was involved in it. So you never know with those things.
Do you think you could check with Omar after this to see if it's true?
I should call him right now.
He's I'm just so annoyed.
See this, I know this is what I was going on in, man. That Very Fine assured us in July that Percy Wolverine and X-Force and Slot FF and Aaron's Avengers would wrap up with OHCs, but he also said he was hoping Daredevil Volume 5 would come out.
Here's the thing. He also he can only speak to the information he's given, and things can change. And so he doesn't know. I mean, he knows, obviously a lot, but there's probably some things that it's not like he's making the decisions, right? He's just relaying the message as told.
Yeah. And things change quickly. Things can change quickly from a publisher. Wait, what? Why are they congratulating Mary? Is it on her big, huge Hellboy? Okay, wait. I'm all over the place now.
I'm getting an anger headache.
Here's something about Fell. Let's see. Cycle, I can imagine it. Oh, wait. Okay, now I'm here's YP. What up? I really want a Kelly Thompson Hawkeye omnibus. Maybe if they throw in all new Hawkeye in 2015, it will work even better.
Did they do a Kelly Thompson Captain Marvel omnibus?
Yeah, there's one released and there's 2 coming out, and the second volume's coming out.
Maybe they will. But the difference is that Captain Marvel run was pretty popular, I think, but the Hawkeye one was canceled. So who knows?
And I think volume 1 of the trade is hard to find. I don't know how hard to find.
That was disappointing because I really enjoyed that series, and the final arc was just so rushed, and it was disappointing. And that wasn't her fault. It just wasn't as good as it could have been.
Yeah. Freddie, Pancakes is not in that book.
Really? It's like one page.
2 pages.
Why wouldn't they put it in there? We couldn't do it. We couldn't fit it.
I actually don't know why. I think it's because everything's in chronological order in Monster Size Hellboy. And in the library editions, it's in the order that it was released or something, not chronological.
You know, we should get started, Jess. We should have somebody in the chat start a petition for a 5th Daredevil hardcover that we should all sign.
Or hit up Omar. The way I got Gwenpool Omnibus made was had all our minions spam his Q&A session on Saturday demanding a Gwenpool Omnibus, and he got so sick of it he finally asked David to please publish it so they could get Omnidog's insane viewers off his back. That's what I like to think happened.
We should all fly to New York and protest outside Marvel's offices. Even though I'd spend a lot more money than just buying the omnibus. Marvel.
Classic Omnidog says, gotta say nay on the Monster Hellboy, can't beat a digital screen for comics. Are you really classic Omnidog? That does not sound like 2016 Jess.
Jess and I weren't friends back in 2016, but based on all that I watched, that definitely doesn't sound like you. You bought everything in the world back then.
Yeah, you're right. That was 2016 was the Great Northwest comic book hunt, the search. Actually, that's a great memory for me. And I brought in some comics to remind me, to represent that memory. Oh, Cycle's yelling at you here. I just saw Taylor has listed Ethan Reckless over Parker on a list of noir characters. You've got some splaining to do, Taylor. Wait, and then he says, wait. I thought he said something else right after. Oh, this is the worst thing since the Omar Detective Chimp incident. I don't know what that's a reference to, but I did get Detective Chimp made it into the book list for out of my stacks of shame. We pulled about 10 or 12 books out, and Detective Chimp was one of them. Bunk asked Jess, was Bar the voice of reason today, or does the delusional pile grow larger? Bunk, the delusional pile will always grow larger. There will always be stacks of shame. That's why this is now an ongoing series with Bar as my co-host that Mallory came up with the idea for in Discord. But Bar, I gave Bar full control. I was like, you can veto anything, you can add anything. And she was drunk with power, but I ended up getting some really good books that I'm excited to read. So the delusional pile is like 12 books lighter, which is pretty reasonable because I was paralyzed with how big the stacks of shame were. I couldn't even, it was too intimidating. So I'm glad that I went through most of them and that people helped me pick out some books, and now I can start reading them.
What was the first off the stack that you're going to read?
Voted. That would be Pearl Volume 3.
Oh, yeah, I read the first 2 digitally. I still need to read the final one. Well, I don't know if it's the final one, but the one that's out right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I had to reread the first 2 because I don't remember what happened.
Same.
So I don't really want to do that right now.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm actually reading through Ultimate Spider-Man right now. Because
you are?
Yeah, playing the video game made me want to read Spider-Man, and I had the second omnibus of Ultimate Spider-Man that I hadn't read. I mean, I read this stuff back when I was a kid, but I hadn't read the omnibus yet. And I kept wanting to read more because the third omnibus isn't out yet. So I've been reading on Marvel Unlimited past the second omnibus. So I'm just trying to go all the way through. And I ordered the second Miles omnibus because I never ordered that. I was like, I might as well just get it.
The second one.
Yeah, so there's two Miles Omnis by Bendis. I have the first round of material, but I never got the second omnibus. So I picked that up because that got reprinted recently.
And is there is Saladin Ahmed? Is there an omnibus of his Spider-Man?
There is. I heard some mixed things about it. And I want to kind of read it on Marvel Unlimited before I make that commitment. But maybe somebody can speak to it in the chat. I think I remember Freddie saying it wasn't that great. Maybe Freddie can tell us what's up.
Yeah, Freddie is Freddie helps me with that kind of stuff. Same with Max. Let's see. Clone Saga. Bunk. Can you imagine making a list of noir characters without Richard Fell? Cycle. I can imagine it, but I really don't want to. Temple Smith is coming to GalaxyCon next month. Excited to grab a drink with him. Oh, that's the sound of Bunk dropping a name there. Clinkety clink clink.
Man, I hope they do Fell again. That'd be great.
I'd
That's
like
on a cliffhanger.
And the trade doesn't contain all the issues, right?
I think there's maybe one issue that's not collected, but there's like this character. I think is it the Richard Nixon mask? The nun costume, the nun mask. There's this character who's always in the background and kind of like orchestrating certain things, and that's gonna make the major bad guy going forward. But the story never got to be finished. So there's a lot. All those books are kind of like one issue cases, but there's like kind of like an overarching villain that never got to be explored. So I hope they get to finish at some point. But who knows? You never really know.
That's the trade I had Temple Smith draw the cat butt in instead of my stomach like he wanted to. Reaper says, wow, 2 just streams today. I've got a backlog to get through once work ends. Have a great show. That's the way to do it. As long as you come back and watch this show.
Well, it sounds like we're not getting some good reviews for the Saladin Ahmed Miles Omnibus. Got 2 bad reviews so far.
Oh, okay. Not in the OEC. It's just Women of Fear. Very fine.
Freddie says 2 Bendis Omnis. Great stuff. There's a 3rd by Ahmed, and maybe y'all should pass. And then Masoom Rana Dewan says Ahmed's Miles Morales is bad. Love his Black Bolt. Hate his Spider-Man. It's not even worth the paper it's printed on.
I do love his Black Bolt. I have not read his Spider-Man. It's not even worth the paper it's printed on. Wow. Let's see. 2 Bendis ones. Great stuff. There's a 3rd by Ahmed, and maybe y'all should pass. Saying this as a diehard Miles fan. Yeah, Freddie's a huge diehard. Yeah, he's a big fan. And everybody in the hobby has stacks shelves of shame unless they have nothing to do all day but read or hardly buy any books.
Yeah, look above me. I also have some over here too. I have a lot of filing to do. It's just been hard to find the time with 2 kids and a full-time job and such. I need to file some stuff.
Yeah.
I was telling Kate, I just want to take a day off whenever the kids are out of the house and just take a whole day just to reorganize everything. That's my hope, to take a day off sometime soon. Just listen to some podcasts, listen to some music, and just reorganize.
You can do that when they're in college.
Yeah, so I have, let's see, 16 years?
Yeah. You can do it in 16 years.
Yeah. By then I'll probably be in a different house. I'll have to pack up all this stuff.
Where's our Millie the Model bus? 100%. I want Millie the Model, and I want old Patsy Walker.
Has anybody watched that Stan Lee documentary yet on Disney Plus? My thought about it is I hope it's actually like an accurate documentary and not just like a Stan Lee's the best and never did anything wrong.
I think it's that.
I just don't want to watch it then. I'd rather watch the Bill Finger documentary, which is honest about what Bob Kane did. Now, Stan Lee's nothing like Bob Kane. He wasn't that egregious. But there were things that he took more credit for than he should have.
Yeah.
Right? And Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko did way more than they get credit for in the mainstream. So I was hoping for a documentary that was a little bit more like warts and all, but it sounds like it's more of like he's the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah.
So I'll probably skip that then.
Pam Cakes, that's right. Pancakes. Yep, everybody knows that pancakes. Watched your afternoon live from earlier. Was you? Yeah, Bar was streaming from Israel. She's my Israeli correspondent. I care about the tie-ins because Star is involved in a mini, but I doubt anyone else did. I like Star. Are we talking about Devil's Reign?
I'm
okay.
so behind on everything, man.
I'm just behind on the chat right
I
now.
meant like with current Marvel and DC stuff. I have no idea what's going on.
At least Kelly Thompson's West Coast Avengers got a decent-ish ending. Her Black Widow should also be oversized. That thing should have never been canceled.
You know what I'm behind on, Jess? All the new creators at Marvel and DC. I'll see, this new series, this person's taking over this book. I'm like, who are these people? I have no idea who these people are. I'm just so behind.
Who are these people?
Yeah. What's the deal with these creators? But I mean, do you feel the same at all? Like, who is this person? Who is this artist? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I must be so behind on who's hot now. It's like on Zoolander, Hansel. He's so hot right now. I don't know who's hot like Hansel.
Is this your first time? Josh asks. With Hellboy, read some trades. It's been so long. This will be new to me again. I don't know how Dark Horse is handling Mignoloverse. There's no consistent format. It sucks. Poland has the entire library in digital format by okay. So how's Geo going to feel when there's a goiter bus before an Inhumans omnibus? I don't know. That sick call was pretty 2016. That was the one I just posted yesterday. I think this channel got taken over by a time travel duplicate.
I don't know. I think 2020 Jess might have been the worst. Not worst, but the biggest. Like your stimulus check calls were probably the biggest you ever had.
Yeah.
So by worst, I mean the most books purchased.
Yeah, we don't need to say worst.
I meant
You meant best.
Well, that's true. I'm trying to think of a way. The most volume. The most volume.
Yeah,
I think you were ordering more toys back in 2020 probably as well, right? Than 2016. You weren't really super into toys yet in 2016, were you?
No.
So that's probably you also had that.
Yeah. No, did we get 3 or 4 stimulus checks?
I think it was 3.
3? All 3 of mine went to books.
You stimulated the economy.
You bet.
It's like that famous reel that they always have. Helps everybody, hurts nobody, stimulates the economy.
And also that my sick call was all earlier stuff. I'm not going to even try and minimize the haul because that's why I made the video, because it was big. But they piled up because I was sick. I didn't even have the strength to open the boxes. So for 2 weeks, boxes came in from previous orders. And yeah, of course I have a problem. I know
Patty's so attuned to your channel now that she knows all about that stuff, right? It's not like you.
I was eating breakfast. She had already eaten her breakfast that I'd made for her this morning. And she came up to me because yesterday during the video, within the first 10 minutes, I said, I'm making this video because upper management is out of the house and I can unbox these right now. And she came downstairs and she said, you should hear what I just heard on your channel. And I was like, homina. And I'm like, oh, it's a bit. It's just a joke. Come on. I'm just
These
kidding.
Boxes have been for months. I was too lazy.
Yeah, come on, man. I gotta say something funny. She wasn't having it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Let's see. Chris says I really wanted an omnibus of Cap stories before Brubaker's story. I remember I had a trade way back when that showed Cap helping out after 9/11. Really want to read those stories again. Yeah. Does anyone know if all of Superior Iron Man was ever collected in an omnibus?
I don't think there was enough. That was the Tom Taylor stuff, right?
Superior Iron Man was Tom
Yeah.
Taylor. Just
Yeah.
paperbacks and maybe a standard hardcover would be awesome in an Axis Omni. What?
Yeah, it was Tom Taylor.
Wrote Superior Spider-Man?
No, Superior Iron Man.
Superior Iron Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Tom Taylor wrote Superior Iron Man, and there's what? Just paperbacks and maybe a standard hardcover?
Yeah, Superior Iron Man is a major antagonist. He is a villainous version of the heroic character who would debut following the events of Axis. Remember Axis when all those, like the evil shadow characters in the Marvel heroes came to the forefront?
Do I remember it? I own it, but haven't read it.
It's everybody's favorite event. I've only heard nothing but good things.
Bring on the bad guys. What happened to the good guys?
That was one of Rick Remender's last things at Marvel. I don't think his run at Marvel ended the way he was hoping it would.
I bet I like it. I like everything.
You like most things.
Yeah.
For the most part. That's not always true, but
Right.
you rarely hate things.
Right. Yeah, I really and I don't root beer things anymore, so you can't really tell when I'm really pissed about something. I just usually if it's not I can't let me try and think of what I feel like my selection process has gotten tougher now. Like I'm super picky. I know what I'm gonna like because of the character and the creative team. Like I knew I would like Kelly Thompson's Black Widow. I like Black Widow and I love Kelly Thompson. So I knew that was going to be good. But now I know that I'm not going to buy the Miles Morales by Saladin Ahmed and I know I'm not going to buy any of the Zeb Wells Spider-Man. God bless Zeb Wells. I think he's written some good stuff, but apparently his Spider-Man run is not anything to write home about. So I'm not going to get that.
Read? Jonathan Hickman doing Ultimate Spider-Man. That's going to be awesome. I'm really glad I didn't buy the Ultimates by him because we did that omnibus. The Ultimates by Hickman.
Which I did buy.
So thank you.
Standard hardcover.
So I appreciate that sacrifice.
You're welcome. I may since it will increase in size, I might consider getting rid of those standard hardcovers and getting an omnibus because I remember liking those stories a lot.
Well, it's Jonathan Hickman, so at least has to be decent. I never read anything by him that I hated.
And
we're getting Black Monday Murders at some point, right?
That's what he told me.
Man,
when he and I posed for a picture at Heroes Con, my new best friend, Jonathan Hickman. Yeah. The artist was sick for like 2 years, very sick.
That's my favorite Jonathan Hickman book, I think.
That is also my daughter's roommate's favorite comic book, The Black Monday Murders. I've forgotten everything from Black Monday Murders, so I need to read it again. Once the third one comes out. And then I'll buy the third trade and a deluxe will come out.
I'll wait for
why
the
am
deluxe.
I buying the third trade?
Jonathan Hickman always gets a deluxe, so I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll read it on Hoopla, though.
The documentary does get into the friction between Stanley and Kirby.
I'm just wondering what the depth of it is. It seems like other people were saying it was pretty much just a polished piece, but who knows?
Superior's Iron Man only got 8 issues. Man, that's sad. I don't know. He uses his interviews to narrate the documentary, so it's obviously slanted, but interesting to him do his spin.
Did you ever watch that Bill Finger documentary, Jess, on Hulu?
No, I know. I need to.
That's well worth the watch. It's sad, but it's really informative.
I don't know what this comment means. I've been reading Zdarsky Batman. I've read all of Zdarsky Batman, but so you didn't know Zdarsky who's on Batman? I don't know what you mean there.
We both like his Batman run.
Yeah. The one new hot creator you should know is Torin.
The Shroud of Turin.
What's that?
The Shroud of Turin?
No? Torin Grunbeck. She's the one that's writing Punisher right now.
Oh, there's actually a Punisher book right now. I didn't realize that.
I'm
so behind on everything. I have no idea what's going on.
This one.
Oh, is that just the War Journal?
Punisher War Journal.
Because I thought that was like congruent with the Punisher stuff by Jason Aaron, where he's the leader of the Hand. Maybe, I don't know, because he has that hand symbol on his chest.
Now that Frank has an entire ninja army at his disposal, he's targeting the hate monger.
Yes,
I haven't read Jason Aaron's yet.
So that's concurrent with his run, I think.
With Jason Aaron's run?
Yeah, because that's when he's the leader of the Hand.
Mm.
I think you'd really enjoy it, Jess. I know you've already did your top of the list. What needs to be read, but I would read that soon. I think you'd like it.
It's been right here in a pile since it came out, along with The Runaways by Rainbow Rowell, for me to read for like 6 months, and I just haven't gotten them.
You know what's throwing me off, Jess, is that they're doing omnis of Donny Cates' Thor and his short Hulk run, but they're not finished. They're not like completed. Because remember, he got in that really bad car accident. I don't know if you heard about that.
I did hear about that.
It's just like interesting. They're doing omnis of a story that was kind of like fizzled out. I guess that happens sometimes, though.
Well, okay, wait. His Hulk run and his Thor run.
Right.
How many issues did he even do of Hulk?
I think like 10.
How many did he do of Thor? I know
I think he did a lot more than that.
Yeah.
If someone can, I'm sure Freddie probably knows. Freddie's like a Marvel encyclopedia. So if somebody could let us know what the issues are in the Hulk Omni, because I think Ryan Otley had to finish it. And did the story.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
And I'm not trying to denigrate Donny Cates. Obviously, he went through a rough time. But it's just interesting they're putting together these two omnis of books that weren't really finished. Unless they did finish it somehow with somebody else coming in. Have you heard anything good about the Venom run by Al Ewing in Ram V?
Yeah, I have heard about. As a matter of fact, I've heard. I think Freddie's the one that told me that, or other people have told me that the Ram V part isn't really that good, but the Al Ewing part is. I think Ewing takes over after Ram V, somewhere like in the middle of the run.
Oh, I thought they wrote together. Okay.
You know what? I don't know where. Oh, wait a sec. Is this?
That is hard to follow up after Donny Cates' Venom run.
Yeah, Runaway, Moon Knight, Punisher. Okay, because I know I had Ram V's Venom in this like semi-delusional pile right here. I'm trying to think if it made it over to the stacks of shame. Yeah,
and man, he might have left those runs before the accident. I don't really know the timeline, but obviously he was going through some tough times personally. But I was just surprised that they were making omnis of runs that weren't really finished by him. So, but again, Donny Cates will sell copies because he's so popular.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you see my October haul, Jess? I'm afraid to put it all together to take the pick. Ooh, I love to hear that.
What I'm confused about, Freddie, is Freddie will post on his Instagram of like all that he read in October, like one day, like every day he read something, and he'll have like an omnibus read in a day.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's possible.
He's like just sucks up the pages. He's a fast reader. Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Joachim, I watched Ted Lasso with my wife and daughter during those these 3-hour live shows. Yeah. I was between the live shows, I watched Ted Lasso with my wife and daughter. So it was time well spent, even though you are my life coach.
And Ed-Man 40. He helped you with your shelf problems.
Oh, yeah, with the Kalax? Yeah, that's right. PR, but okay, I don't know what that means. Freddie says Axis was actually decent. Remender did a few Uncanny Avengers issues, not in the Omni and an OGN afterwards. Root beering needs to be brought back. Peace and love, no.
No, that didn't go
All
well
done.
last time. Jess could have been the most popular YouTuber, but then we had an incident.
But after that incident, Kristen and I both hated a book so much that I did bring back I brought it out of retirement. I brought the root beer out of retirement.
Oh, for what user?
User, yeah, exactly. That horrible book.
That's Sean Phillips' art too, so you must have hated it.
Just don't hate. Just be like, that's a book. Eye roll. Oh, if I don't want to, this is back on if I don't like a book, not to give it a negative review or root beer it or anything.
So Freddie Alonso says the Hulk Omni by Cates will be Hulk 1 through 14 and some crossover stuff. That's going to be like a Howard the Duck omnibus size.
Crossover stuff. Otley finished it, and Philip Kennedy Johnson has a new body horror run. First issue was solid.
When is Philip Kennedy Johnson going to do more? What was it called? The Fellspire Chronicles or whatever?
Last God?
When's he going to do more of that?
I hope he's not over at Marvel full time now.
Well, I don't know because he was doing Action Comics, but I think Jason Aaron's going to do Action Comics now.
Yeah.
I think Jason Aaron's jumping over to DC because he's doing a Batman book with Doug Mahnke, and I think he's doing Action Comics.
Okay. Did you read Swamp Thing Green Hell?
Yeah, I read it on Hoopla.
Did you like it?
It was okay. It wasn't worth buying to me. Like, it was fun, but it wasn't like, okay, I have to have it. It was like, yeah, solid 3 stars. It was good.
Okay.
The art was obviously great, but I feel like Jeff Lemire lately for me has been like, fine. I feel like hasn't been as strong as he used to be. I don't know what happened for me, especially like what's his new big thing in Image, the Black Feather.
Oh, that thing. Yeah. People are like, what's going on with this? Yeah.
That first graphic novel around Hoopla was one of the worst books I read last year. It was just like, all right, that was something. Some things happened and then it ended. Okay.
I think I'm going to wait till everything's out, and then I think it'll make a more cohesive story.
Yeah. So I think he's kind of been really hit or miss. I love Descender. I love his Green Arrow. I love Sweet Tooth, but I think lately he's been a lot of misses for me.
Let's see. Torin is co-writing Venom with Ewing. Yes, that's connected to Aaron. Someone else is writing a new Punisher. Okay.
I'll have to check out the
wrapped up Thor. Ultimate Invasion. I've heard that by Hickman. I heard that's really good. The first issue's out, and I heard it's really good.
I mean, it's by Jonathan Hickman, so I'll read it at some point. I'm just not reading single issues, so I'll have to wait until it's collected in some way.
Right.
I'm just so behind. Like, I'm always like 2 years behind on stuff.
What? Yeah, same. Speaking of Kelly Thompson, anyone read Black Cloaks? That's a book I wanted to love, but the art killed the whole thing for me. It's interesting because somebody in my previous show with Bar today, somebody was raving about Black Cloaks. So I will have to see for myself.
Is that like a creator-owned comic?
I think it's Image, yeah.
Okay, I know she did other stuff besides Marvel.
She's doing Birds of Prey right now. And I think it's got a couple issues out that's supposed to be really good.
Oh, is she at DC now?
For Birds of Prey, yeah.
I thought there's a lot more creators doing both now, doing both companies.
I think you might be right. It sounds like it, like Jason Aaron, and I'm because Stephanie Phillips is writing something at Marvel now, and she was just writing Harley Quinn, which was really good.
Maybe they're not doing as many exclusives as they used to.
I know. I don't know.
Is Jason Aaron still writing anything at Marvel?
Yeah, well, Avengers, I think, isn't that an ongoing or is it done?
I like he's been on that for like 5 years. It seems like.
John Mooney, what up, John? Morning, Justin Taylor. It's morning for John. He's in the UK. Are you both looking forward to Garth Ennis's new run on the James Bond comic series to mark 007 anniversary?
Now I am because I just found out. I had no idea.
There's 2 other books that I got that I haven't read for 007. One was Spectre and Himeros, and I can't remember.
I tried to read Big Time. What's it called? Big Time or
Big Time?
There was one where what was it called? It was
Don't
called.
tell me you didn't love it because we've loved all of them.
I started reading it on Hoopla and I couldn't finish. I was like, this is not great.
What was it? What was it called? So I can. Well, I'm sure I'm going to get it. Anyway.
James Bond. Was it Big Things? Big Things.
Who wrote it?
Someone I'd never heard of. Vita Ayala.
Oh yeah.
I just wasn't. But looks like I'm looking at the James Bond by Garth Ennis. Looks like it's coming out in January. And it will see Bond on the trail of a Russian chemical agent that kills without leaving any trace or visible signs of damage. I will buy that. That sounds Garth Ennis on James Bond. You had me at hello. That'll be great.
100%. Chris, my opinion, a good Omni for Hulk is Immortal Hulk.
Or Planet Hulk.
Planet Hulk, also great. And then after Planet Hulk, you can read World War Hulk, which isn't quite as great as Planet Hulk, but it's interesting. But yeah, Planet Hulk or Immortal Hulk are 2 good Hulk books. Or if you want to invest all your money, you could buy 5 volumes of Peter David's Hulk, which I haven't read a single page of, but I've heard it's great. Kelly Thompson mostly left Marvel, doing mostly Image. Avengers just wrapped up. McKay took over. That's good news. Jason Aaron's off. We just heard that news right above you. T. Hodgins, good evening from Canada, eh? Hope you're feeling better there, dog. Thank you. I am. I put together an entire week now of feeling well, so I think I'm all done with it. Need some of that really good Bruce Banner Hulk duality stuff, so I'll look into those.
Immortal Hulk's definitely better for that, then.
Yeah, Planet Hulk's just Hulk.
It's just him going ham.
Yeah, but he's great. Yeah, if you want duality, that's Immortal Hulk. I've been considering picking up Low by Rick Remender. Have you read it? Is it good? I read the first one when it came out and I liked it a lot, but I haven't read the finishing up volumes. I don't even know how many there are. There are 2 or 3.
I'm not a big
yells.
I'm not a big Greg Ticini fan.
Oh yeah.
Especially his Uncanny X-Force material.
Yeah.
Where Deadpool's as tall as the building he's climbing.
Check out Aaron's Hulk. Won't say how, but Bruce is the villain in the first arc. There's a CC or 2 OHCs. Oh yeah, I have those Hulk right here. I haven't read them.
I can see there's some in the cellophane. You and Tyler love keeping those books in the cellophane.
Well, there's actually a purpose to that because then I know I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, sometimes I found issues with my books after I opened them, though. So that's the one issue.
That's the big caveat that people always say. That's why they rip them open right away and look through them. Oh, you did? I like Black Science.
That's my favorite Rick Remender series.
Yeah, I really like Black Science. I remember remember that statue when we first saw it, how cool it looked, and then what it ended up looking like.
Yeah, it looked like a doll that shall not be mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some collecting memories from.
Oh yeah, we have a topic.
Yeah, we've been on for an hour, so I think we can talk about our topic for 2 minutes and watch our viewership drop in half. Hitman 1 and 2 were hard to find. If you think they're hard to find now, they were still hard to find back in 2016. But I was finding them all over the place on that Pacific Northwest tour of mine, and all of Northern California. And I was so confident. I spent the night on my way up to see my sister in Sacramento, and to hit all the comic book stores in Sacramento. And this is back when the comic book group on Facebook was going strong, and I was posting constantly every day what I was finding, and I was happy to get things for people because that was the idea in the group, is that you were going to help other people, which admittedly was an alien concept to me, helping other people. But I did learn. And I got so cocky and confident. Somebody said, I really need Hitman Volume 1 and 2. And I said, I will go out and find that for you right now. And I went out, and I not only did I find one set, I found like 3 sets of 1 and 2s at different stores. And I just posted the picture, and the person was like, whoa, how'd you do that? I'm like, just give me anything. I was taking live orders from places. I was so confident that I would find things. In Portland with Nate, I found a ton of things because he took me to 8 comic book stores in one day. That was exhausting. Yes. And it's high time that a Hitman Omni came out. Hey, Larry, I'm weird. My unread books are not allowed on my main shelves. They are stored mainly on the lower shelves that are under my single issue bin stands fairly out of view. I don't think you're weird. My stacks of shame stay stacks of shame, so I know they're, unread. Well, that's my whole collection. So I put the stacks of shame are unread new books so I can keep track of what's new. Oh, were you under the weather, Larry? I didn't know you were not feeling well. You are feeling much better. Okay, good. I saw you just sent me a text, which I will answer right after the show. Thank you for sending me that text. One of my favorite memories is in 2015, and I've told this before. It was a local store here that I went down to half an hour away, and that was that was a honey hole. At the time, I found lots of Ultimate Spider-Man OHCs. I found at the time the only way to get Peter, I was going to say Larry David. The only way to find Peter David's Hulk was in trade paperbacks, and I found a bunch of those. I found a bunch of New Mutants trade paperbacks, and of course they're omnis now, both of those, which is good because I lost all those in the flood 2017. But my point was, I was buying all this stuff and I bought it, and as I was walking out, I saw sitting on a stack. I mean, there were bins of dollar comics, and just sitting there in this not shrink wrap, but it was a plastic bag that was taped up. This book, and I said, I think I've heard this book's really good. So I picked it up and I went to the guy, and he said, oh yeah, that's my boss's favorite book, but it's not selling at all. So I'll give it to you for 20% off. Yozagi Yojimbo 1, the original.
The non-colored version, right? Isn't there a colored version now?
Oh, this is black and white. Yeah. This was when there was only 900 copies before they reprinted it.
Aren't you mad about that?
No,
you were mad about it.
I was mad about it. But then I got over it.
Okay.
Because that's a great story for me, that I just walked into a comic book store and this it was a whale back then.
Yeah.
You know, in 2015, it was already a whale. And he's like, yeah, nobody's buying it. I'll give you 20% off. And that was when the legend of Omnidog started. That's when that's how I got the name. Not with this book, but because I was always finding omnis for people in that Facebook collector group. And there was a time in 2015 where I specialized finding this book for people.
And now that's reprinted.
Yeah. Now this has been reprinted, but back in 2015, it was bordering on, it was a whale, but I could still find it in a lot of comic book stores. And I found this for a lot of people. I think I found probably 10 copies for people after I secured a copy for myself, of course.
And that's like back whenever it was just like the black covers on the inside, right? Like before they started doing like the nice, like, yeah, with the embossed titles, right?
Yeah.
That's the old school Omni type.
Right. And I am in favor of really cool covers under the dust jacket. But at the time, I didn't care. And I still love this book. And I wouldn't have any problem if I had time to do another Hickman readathon, Hickmanathon.
You know what I love that no one ever talks about is his Shield run. Those 2 books.
Oh, yeah.
I got to be honest. I don't know if I fully understood the ending, but it was great.
Yeah,
like it's one of those times where I think it's a book I'll understand more the more I read it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I just love that series. I thought it was phenomenal.
I loved them both too.
I think a lot of people kind of sleep on that one.
In my library, I have a Hickman read through video, and I definitely include those 2 books because I feel like you need to have them from Secret Warriors through Secret Wars. I think and you need the Ultimates books, which is now getting an Omni, as you said. But I feel like it's a better experience to have those Shield books in there.
I agree. That's great to read first. That should be your first stop, I think.
Because the Shield books?
Because chronologically, it's the first stuff. In terms of when it's set. I would think. I'm trying to remember. Wasn't it like it's more of like, when did I read that? That was like 2 years ago. When did my Make Mine Marvel month?
Oh yeah, that's right. And didn't you have like DC Januaries?
Yeah, didn't you do Make Mine Marvel?
I did it with you, yeah.
I don't think you did just DC January, but I think Rick did it with me.
Oh, okay. What happened to Larry? Did he get sick from flu shots or something? You were smart to. He must have reacted to shots. I'm sorry, Josh. I actually told that story to make people jealous. I got yelled at one time on one of my earlier videos. Do you remember that? I feel like somebody remembers it because
I know a lot of people have yelled at us over the years.
I think it was actually before you and I partnered up. I was doing a video on stories that had arcs or comic books that had been completed. And you know, like Hitman had been completed, all 8 volumes or whatever it was. And so I was going through what books what series you could get that had been completed. And I accidentally pulled this out and showed it. And then I went, oh, wait, this is still ongoing. And then I put it back completely innocently. And somebody yelled at me in the comments, oh, you just happened to pull out a whale and accidentally, didn't you? Wow, thanks for that. And I'm like, yeah, it was by accident. I didn't mean to just rub your nose in it.
I mean, those kind of people really rub me the wrong way. I remember I heard the comedian Tom Segura on his podcast talking about people who get mad at him for like talking about things he's bought. And he's like, listen, don't make my life a problem for your life. If you don't have something, that's your fault, not my fault. And it's true. It's like you can't get mad because someone has something that you don't have. That's just the way of life. You have to be okay with it. It's like, just be happy for Jess that he has it. Don't be envious. Don't be jealous. Just be happy that he has something that makes him happy. See, that's a miserable person to me. Someone who can't be happy for someone else is the definition of miserable.
I think the person thought that I was doing it on purpose to rub people's faces in it, which is not so. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. This is still ongoing."
Even if you were, okay. It's like, just get over it. You don't have it. All right. Sorry, there's a lot of things I don't have that, I wish I could have, but I need to be content with what I have.
I totally agree with that, and I want to say it again so I can start using it on people.
He said, "Don't make my life a problem for your life."
Okay. Bar today called me a rainbow of positivity.
For the most part. I've seen you be the opposite whenever you're mad.
When?
But for the most part, you are. Whenever you get mad, you get mad.
Well,
but so do most people.
Yeah, but I've never gotten mad at you.
I don't think so.
Why would I get mad at you?
I don't know.
Why would you? Made me breakfast sandwich.
That's true.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're better, Larry. They reprinted volume 1, so only the print number matched the other volumes. Paperbacks are getting reprinted, though. This is Usagi. Cannot tell you how excited I was when I found out about the Saga paperback. Money was tight and felt so guilty ordering 3 of those, but so happy to get that much of Usagi. I've been considering that Secret Warriors Omni. Keep considering it. It's really good. Okay, so it sounds like Larry had a reaction to his flu shot. I got the RSV shot, and they wouldn't give me the flu shot along with it. So I have to go back for the flu shot, but I'm not old enough to qualify for the pneumonia shot, so I consider that excellent news.
And
next year,
nobody make old jokes in the chat. Jess will not appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm already making fun of myself for
that's Jess's least favorite version of humor. That and scatological humor are your least favorite.
That's my least favorite.
But it's pretty close, I feel like.
No, I think bathroom humor's my least favorite by a long shot.
Okay, and second place is ageist humor.
Sure. Because it's too easy. They're cheap shots. It's too easy to make. Make fun of something else. Well, maybe you should consider getting it from Organic Price Books and use my code Omnidog, ship it together for 4 more books, even though you are in Canada. Yeah, it's a chonky. It's a chonky bitch. It's like 1,500 pages.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, Jess, you're like the Freddie Alonso says, I make fun of Jess for being such a young brat. You're like Steve Buscemi. What's up, my fellow kids?
What's up, my fellow kids? Using Gen Z slang, Discord, and binging shows. Yes, I binged the Fall of the House of Usher. I binged the first season of Ted Lasso. This is all while I was sick. I watched Ouija, Origin of Evil.
I need to watch the new Castlevania show.
Oh, is it already out?
Yeah, Nocturnes. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I want to see what is it called? The Haunting of Bly Manor?
Yeah, so The Haunting of Bly Manor isn't nearly as good as The Haunting of Hill House, but I feel like it's unfairly maligned by people. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it's a little bit slower. It's not as scary, but it definitely has a good storyline.
I don't care what other people say.
I think it's worth watching. I enjoyed it.
That's
but
what
I would say Midnight Mass is worth watching first because it is better.
Right. I think
Midnight Mass is better.
I feel like my friend Mallory said that too.
I need to keep trying the House of Usher. I watched the first one and I was like, yeah, it was good, but I feel like I didn't like it as much as other Mike Flanagan stuff. I usually love everything he does. I just didn't connect with the characters. All the characters seemed. I don't have to think they're great people. I just didn't find any of them interesting. And so I was like, there's no character I'm latching on to, because other shows always latch on to all the characters because they're so interesting. But maybe I just need to keep trying.
Yeah, I found it pretty compelling. I really, really liked it. Oh, and I binged the show Bodies. I think I told you about that, right? Bodies, where the same body shows up in 4 different time periods.
Isn't that based on a comic?
Yeah, Cy Spencer's comic.
Was it good?
The show is really good. It's a sci-fi police procedural. Same body shows up in an alleyway in the same spot in London in 1890, 1941, 2023, and 2053. And the police detectives during each time period find disquieting things associated with that body, and it's told in a non-linear fashion, because you have 4 different time periods, so it always tells you what time period you're in, but you could go from 2053 back to 1890. It's only 8 episodes, so it's very bingeable, but the character development, as you were saying, that you weren't latching on to anybody in Fall of the House of Usher, you come to care about all the police detectives and the people around them and the situations they're in. It's done really well. The character development's really great. It's an excellent mystery. They make good use of the time periods they're in. I really liked it a lot.
Let me check it out. Did you watch it by yourself, or did you watch it with Patty?
Oh, she wouldn't watch something like that with me. Yeah.
I know if it was scary or not, because Kate wouldn't like scary stuff.
It's not scary. But it's science fiction-y police procedural. I don't know how Kate feels about science fiction, but they're really good stories. It's like 4 separate stories intertwined together, and you slowly start figuring out things as you go along. You start putting the pieces together yourself, but you still don't know the full story until the next to last episode, and then the last episode is really great. Yeah, I think you'd dig it.
Did you watch Barbarian?
No, that's at the top of my list.
I thought you were watching it.
Oh no, that and Dr. Sleep are at the top of my list, along with I want to see The Haunting of Bly Manor or whatever. Oh no, Midnight Mass. Those are the 3 I want to see. Because Patty is leaving again tomorrow for a week, going to New England. So I will have time to watch whatever I want to watch.
Watch Barbarian tomorrow. I want to hear your thoughts.
I can watch it Monday. I can't watch it tomorrow. I could watch it because Kelly's coming over and spending the day with me.
Whichever. I just want to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay. Yeah. You told me about it 2 years ago, I feel like, or was it last year?
I think it was last year. I think I had a rainy day ticket because whenever I saw Top Gun Maverick in theaters, it shut off halfway through.
Oh.
And we had to wait 40 minutes for it to come back on. The whole theater lost power. They had to wait. And so I got 3 free movie tickets. And so Barbarian is one of the movies I just saw on a whim. Just I have some free time, the family's sleeping. I'll just go see that movie. And it was great.
Yeah. You told me about it right away, and you said don't know anything. And so I still don't know anything.
Yeah, don't watch a trailer. Just watch it.
I haven't even seen the movie poster or anything from it.
Yeah, just watch it.
Everything. Just actually watching shows is weird. Aiku is with me, just swapped with a Gen Z time traveling clone. Uh,
You should dye. You should just dye your hair, Jess, and we'll just never know.
I did dye it pink.
Oh, that went away pretty quick, man.
Unfortunately, it did. Yeah, I'd do it again. I thought I rocked it. Kelly was jealous.
Does pink hair go away quicker, like the dye?
I think it was I think the dye was a dye that just washed out faster. Not
Okay.
necessarily pink. It could have been yellow or anything else. We now have aluminum foil on our TV stand to stop our cat from attacking our TV screen. Looks like some sort of anti-UFO defense. Okay, good. I'm glad Dr. Sleep disturbed you, only because that makes me want to watch it more.
I love that movie.
Yeah, and you've been singing its praises and Midnight Mass.
I've read the
Barbarian.
book. I've read the book, Dr. Sleep, and the movie is much better.
Oh, it's even better than the book?
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. I do have my whole. Oh, and I'm about halfway through season 3 of Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I binged. Well, binged. I mean, I watched like and I'm digging season 3. It's like except for the Joker's design, everything is fine with me.
His black marble eyes.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's so great about Fall of House of Usher is that Mark Hamill's the dirty work attorney for the family.
Right.
He does such a great job. Oh man, his voice is really low and gruff, and he's just such a bad guy. And it's really Mark Hamill's just great in it. Really great.
Is he more of a bad guy than he was in The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi.
I was trying to stir up stuff in the chat.
Oh.
You see The Last Jedi, people come out of the woodwork. Ah!
Yeah, Star Wars fans, the most toxic fans out there. Fans.
It's like a code word, like the Winter Soldier. When you say the code word, people just like activate and get violent.
What are some of your collecting memories?
I think in recent years, it's going to all those different comic stores around me because, you know, ordering comics and having them come in the mail is a great feeling. But going to a store and finding a book that you can't get online for cover price is a fantastic feeling. Like getting a hard to find, like when I got that Wolverine Ultimate Collection by Greg Rucka, like that was fantastic. Or I got the Next Wave Complete Collection.
Oh yeah,
the Thunderbolts by Warren Ellis. I've gotten so many good books from those different comic stores. That
was that Wolverine by Rucka. Was that with me?
No, that was the opening to finding that and really discovering how great that store is. I think the cheapest you could find that online was like for $75 at the time. And I got it for cover. That's a good thing. All those books there at cover. They're not one of those comic book stores that jack up the prices because they know how much you can get it for online. I don't want to go to that. I don't want to go to that store.
Right.
We've all been to that store.
Yeah.
Right. What? Usually they're not very nice there.
No. Did you score anything personally when I was with you?
I mean, I got some stuff I couldn't get online for cheap. I'm trying to think.
But nothing like Rucka.
I think I got was it Robin Year One or Back Year One Deluxe?
Oh yeah.
That was out of print at that time. I got that. I'm trying to think what else. I had to look on my Instagram.
I remember that. That was a good score for you.
Let me try to find it on my Instagram. So do you have any other memories that you can think of?
Oh yeah. I found this book. Let me think. I found this at Third Eye back in 2015, the hardcover of Superman Red Sun, the deluxe, which at the time was going for like $125 or something. They've done a good job of keeping the trade paperback in print, but this is the only way to get the hardcover, the deluxe. And it was cover price minus my 20% at Third Eye. So I was way happy to find this. Oh, and Third Eye, I also found a complete absolute set of Absolute Promethea 1 through 3. Even at the time those were out of print. I also found at Third Eye Colossal Conan. And I'm looking at my absolutes because I feel like I found some other absolutes there. Maybe not.
Well, some books I got when I was there was the Batgirl Year One and Robin Year One
Oh,
deluxe editions. And at that time, those were hard to get for cover price.
yeah.
I also got those question books by Greg Rucka.
Oh,
Question, Books of Blood, and also Pipeline.
Pipeline, yeah.
Both were great. I got Superboy Smallville Attacks.
Is that the Jeff Lemire one?
Yes, and I got a bunch of Warren Ellis books that were out of print too from Avatar. But some other books I got at those same stores, now this isn't going to be as big of a deal because the Omni's coming out. I got all the Secret Six thick trades.
Oh, yeah.
All 4 of those. I got all 4 of those at the Honey Hole. And that was the time where it was hard to find those.
And
good price.
I think at the time, you and I if you had told us that there was an omnibus coming out, we would have said, I don't think so.
I mean, they're great size. I think they're fantastic.
But Secret Six, it's such an odd. I'm glad because it's a great story. I think Gail Simone did a great job with Secret Six, but that's kind of an obscure title to get an omnibus. I'm super happy for people. It took me forever to find it, so I have trouble letting go of books like Hitman. It took me a long time to find all of them. So should I really upgrade to an omnibus when I've already spent money on the Hitmans?
And they're easier to read in the format that you have
than a big, thick omnibus?
Yeah. I think you're more likely to return to it.
Yeah.
At least that's why I said I want to still keep Life Story. I know that omnibus by Chip Zdarsky won't be huge, but I'm more likely to grab the deluxe edition of Life Story off my shelf every couple of years and read it as opposed to reading that entire omnibus in one. You know what I mean? So I just like the easily accessible books because I'm more likely to read them more often.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Not everybody agrees with me, but I just know my own reading habits, and I like to be aware of my own reading habits.
It doesn't matter if anybody agrees with you.
Right.
It's what your preference is.
Well, another great one was that I was able to get Secret Identity Deluxe Edition on Hamilton books for like $10.
Ooh.
And that was way out of print for a while. That deluxe edition.
Oh, what? Oh, I don't think I knew that.
That's one of my favorite Superman books. Top 3.
Same.
I think we basically have the similar top 3, top 5 Superman books.
Secret Identity, that's the one, sort of the alternate timeline one where he marries like
it's like Superman in our world because there's like the character Superman.
Oh yeah.
And his name is Clark Kent. Everybody makes fun of him like, oh, you're Superman, but he ends up developing the powers of Superman they never fully explain why. But it's like him actually getting married, having kids, him aging in real time.
Yeah.
I think it's the book that really made me fall in love with Superman. Like I've always liked Superman, but I'm like, yeah, he's okay. He's no Batman. He's no Spider-Man. But that really catapulted him into the top 5 superheroes for me.
Nice.
Okay, I get it. I get why he's so special. So I think that was a book that was really a big deal for me. And finding it for that cheap, like $10, $15 on
and it was out of print already.
And so I bought it, and then I posted on the Omnibus collectors page. I'm like, okay, now I have mine, so everybody else can have theirs. I think a bunch of people bought that. Great memory for us whenever we sold out Fury Max on Amazon.
That was during that was like a day show.
There was like 20 copies or something, and we sold them all out.
Was that wasn't a Crime Corner, was it?
Yeah, it was, I think.
And I think it was like during the day on a Friday or something, and we watched Amazon. There was 9 copies, and we watched it sell out. That was a great feeling. You're right. That was really fun. We were influencers, micro influencers, but we still influenced.
Well, I think another great memory is just being able to make friends like with you and Tyler over. I never met Tyler in person. I know you have, but we got to meet twice. But like that's just friendships that were formed over collecting, right?
Yeah.
And now even if we never collected, if we all gave up the hobby, I think we'd still talk to each other and check in with each other, right?
Yeah.
It's not like our friendship's just about comics. I don't get to talk to you guys as much as I would like because life is busy.
Yeah.
But I do, view you both as good friends, and
Same.
it's great to have. That's the most important thing, right? Because again, books, toys, all these things aren't really that important. What's really important is the relationships that you make in life, right?
Absolutely. I would say that my closest friends that I talk to the most are from that Facebook group. You and Tyler, um, very fine condition. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. All
You
right,
probably talk
I
to him
admit
more than you probably talk to him more than me and Tyler.
it. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he and I talk every day in some form. But yeah, and I have way more friends. The people around here that I'm friends with, I honestly don't have that much in common with a lot of because I don't play golf anymore. That's where all my guy friends were from before
Yeah.
playing golf at and so I had a regular couple of groups that I played with, and that's where my friendships formed. And now I don't play golf anymore, so I don't really have any guy friends that I go out and bond with, but I got nerd friends that I talk to every day, and even if we don't agree on the same comic book, we agree that comic books are great.
Right.
So yeah, you're 100% right on that relationship thing. That's the most important thing. I haven't Amazon. Here's a question for you from N-Man. What books are you excited for that will be coming out between now and the end of 2023?
I did a post about. I haven't posted in like 2 months, but I did do a post on this a couple of months ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm really excited for obviously the Chip Zdarsky omnibus, the Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3. I just love Ultimate Spider-Man, and that omnibus probably contains my favorite stories from the run, the Clone Saga stuff, and obviously the Clone Saga and the main universe isn't great, but he really streamlined that story. There's a lot of twists and turns and surprises that I love, and also the final story with the Kingpin is great in there. I'm really excited for the Wonder Woman omnibus by Gail Simone, like I talked about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh yeah, the Seven Soldiers of Eternity. I never got that. Or Seven Soldiers of Victory by Grant Morrison. I never got that omnibus when it was first out, so I'm excited to pick that up as well. Did you ever read that stuff, Jess?
I've read that. I've actually read that Omni twice.
Oh, so it must be good.
I liked it a lot. Yeah. I recently saw some hate for it in that Facebook group. I don't really participate in the Facebook group, but I like I'm more of a lurker there because that's where I find that's where I find out about solicitations and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like all my friends I had in that group aren't really in the group anymore or are in the same boat as me, so I don't really talk to anybody. Well, the people I talk to outside of the group, so
yeah,
I'm in the same boat as you, I think.
And I was surprised, but that's the way it is with comics. It's subjective. People are gonna like the one time I felt compelled within the past 3 months to speak up was when somebody posted, "Is Superman Space Age any good?"
And it is.
And yeah, it's one of my books of the year. And it got some immediate. The comments were, "This book is not that great," and I said,
All right.
I just can't leave this alone. I have to say why I think it's great. And it was in response to somebody's denigrating it, saying it wasn't even in his top 25. And I said it's probably my number one for the following reasons. And I made a good case, I think. And he answered me and said, "We seem to have different opinions on this book." And I said, "Yeah, we sure do, LOL." And that was the end. He didn't he didn't yell at me or argue or anything, but I just couldn't let it stand not to at least have somebody stick up for Superman Space Age, because I liked it so much. But I was surprised. Oh boy, that's a long way to get back to my original statement. I was surprised to see, I think maybe this week, there was quite a few people that were beating on Seven Soldiers of Victory. And I was initially surprised at that, because I really think that's a good, cohesive, interesting book. One of the more accessible Morrison books.
That's what I've heard, and that's what I love to hear, because whenever I hear it's way out there, I'm like, not for me. Like, I hear about his Green Lantern book, it's like, I heard about that storyline. It doesn't sound like it's for me. Or like the Invisibles.
Oh,
like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Or Nameless, like, no thanks. But things like what's my favorite Grant Morrison book?
Absolute or
All-Star Superman. That's definitely my favorite.
Yeah,
I like his Batman run a lot, but it's not my favorite. The All-Star Superman is definitely the best.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of anything else that I'm missing that is also really good.
I think one thing that's interesting is that he takes very obscure characters in Seven Soldiers of Victory, except for Zatanna. You know, Bullet Man, and who else was in that? Captain, or what's his name? The Clarion, the Witch Boy, and stuff.
There's a great episode with him on the animated series in season 3.
Oh, good.
With him and Etrigan the Demon.
Oh, good. I haven't seen it yet.
That one's great.
Oh, this is a good question. When am I binging Harley Quinn season 4? Yeah. And I still need to see Sandman on Netflix. And now that I've been watching enough Ted Lasso, I can go back to the Harley Quinn Valentine's Day special, and I'll understand now the reference to the Ted Lasso character that was signing books at the Gotham Coliseum or wherever it was. So I need to go back and watch the Valentine's Day special. I don't know, Freddie. I'm surprised you're not bringing up Legion, which I still need to finish. Legion from 6 years ago. I'm loving the burst of Omnidog content. Well, thank you, Nick. I will have overviews dropping Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week too, besides random reviews that I'm going to post. For some reason, I'm feeling unusually happy. I don't know why. But while I'm feeling happy and not sick, I need to pump these videos out. Get them going. Chamuni, have you read the original Poe short stories, Jesse? Yes. And that probably, I think that enhanced my enjoyment of The Fall of the House of Usher. Because I was able to pick up on a lot of nuances. I thought Flanagan did a really good job on that, especially in second to last, or his Cask of Amontillado reference episode, if that was 7 or 8, I can't remember, even got the tone of the conversation the same as from the Poe story. And I think that might have helped me enjoy it even more, that I had I took a class on Poe my freshman year in high school. So I was and then of course I saw the Vincent Price movies about it. But yeah, that, I think, John, that really helped me enjoy the TV series even more.
I have to jump off in like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, we have a 2 or 3. 64 people watching, but only 29 thumbs up. Come on, people, step up for the dog and the minister.
The sleeping and the sleeping dog here.
Please hit that like button. Please feel free to leave a comment, and please subscribe. And what do you have any other memories before you have to go?
I think just being able to get this office was pretty awesome. I remember we moved into this house in 2016, and I used to have just like this. Actually, I think the shelf behind me was the only shelf I had, and it had all my books on it.
Mm.
And that was back when we had an apartment, and I had to have it in our bedroom because we only had a 1-bedroom apartment. So that's all I had, and now I have this office where I have like a nice reading chair. I got this. I got all this over here. I got my Marvel stuff over here.
Oh yeah, there's your closet.
I
with
have
your
my
Palax,
DC
right?
stuff over here. So I think just being able to be blessed with a house where I could have an office is great. And another reason why I should only have 2 kids, because if I have more than 2 kids, I'm gonna have to give up my office.
Don't have more than 2 kids then.
Although we do want to move in like the next next year or 2, and I would love to be able to have a basement. And I think our dream is to have like almost like a theater setup. So if I could have 2 rooms, where one room's kind of like a theater, another room's like my collection, that'd be the best.
That's a good dream to have.
So we'll see.
T. Hodgins, I'm talking about the absolute Prometheas, absolute size. I think the deluxes are in print, but I don't think the absolutes have been reprinted. Colossal Conan, Sumerian and King Conan, I missed out on those. I don't think I'm alone with that. No, I don't think you are either. Nerd friends are the best friends. I agree. Ultimate Jessica Drew is great.
Oh yes, yeah. I just read that run that she was that arc that she was in. That was interesting.
Is that from Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read that part because
I've only read up to volume 6.
Yeah,
I remember everything.
Your show with
Chat.
Yeah, Chat Omnidog. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. How about Batman Eternal, Taylor? Will you upgrade from the trade paperbacks? I passed on that Omni for some reason. I'm definitely going to buy that.
You know what? I don't know where they are. I got the thick trades of Batman Eternal at Ollie's, and I still haven't read it. So I kind of forgot about Batman Eternal, but I've heard some people like that even better, don't they? Batman and Robin Eternal.
I saw a bunch of hate for Batman and Robin Eternal in that Facebook group, and I was like, gee, I like Batman and Robin Eternal more than Batman Eternal. And I liked Batman Eternal, but I like Batman and Robin Eternal even more, but you never know. And they made an Omni out of 2 trades. I don't know how they did that for Batman and Robin. So you're not upgrading.
No, I haven't. I don't even have Batman and Robin Eternal, so I just haven't thought about it.
What about what about Batman Eternal?
I have Batman Eternal, the thick trades.
Oh, you got really.
I just don't have. Yeah, I just don't have Batman and Robin Eternal. So to be honest, I just didn't think of it.
Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying here about Space Age, because it is told very much from United States, from an American standpoint. I do understand. Okay. I remember there was a stream with Omar and Jess, and Omar understood. Well, I also understand why. Yeah, that's a legit criticism that since it starts with the Kennedy assassination, and then it talks about Watergate and stuff like that. It's very America centered, and I can totally get why somebody that isn't immersed in American history or lives in America would dig it. I understand that completely. But if you love it, you love it. That's the fun of sharing and discussing. That's right. Clarion is also fantastic in Young Justice. I feel like there's a lot of Young Justices. Like, who's Young Justice? Who's the writer? Because I think Bendis was doing Young Justice recently. Was there like an earlier Young Justice that Clarion was in?
I think Peter David did a Young Justice run, didn't he?
Actually, you might be right. I don't know. Freddie, give me a reason to read Young Justice.
Yeah, Bendis's tenure at DC ended very abruptly, didn't it? All of a sudden, it was like, I'm going to Dark Horse, see ya. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, I think he's a, oh, sorry. I think they are a they, them. Maurice, did you score the Faust Deluxe Edition? I've had a better time finding the Holy Grail. I've heard a lot about this book. I don't know a thing about it. What I've heard is it's hard to find. I don't know that it's been released yet. It seems like some people have found it, but the vast majority of people have not. I don't know anything about it except that it's frustrating a lot of people that they're not able to find it because they think it's been released. But I'm not sure it's actually really been released because nobody seems to have gotten it.
Well, I need to head out, but it's been fun, Jess.
It has been. I'll stick around for
5 more hours.
5 more hours, sure. Where can they find you on Instagram, Minister?
Well, they can find me at Minister of Comics. I haven't really been posting for a while because I've been busy, but I'm hoping to get back to it someday. So we'll see. So at Minister of Comics on Instagram.
Minister has some good reels. His reel library is very good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, especially of his impish young son and dog coming into his office.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, that was really good.
And my first reel was your old basement.
Oh, set to the Willy Wonka song.
Yeah.
That was so great.
That was a pretty popular one.
Yeah, it was really well done. Okay, well, peace and love, and I will be talking to you in our chats here and there.
All right, sounds good.
And
Sweet.
I will I'll stick around for a little bit.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
Take care, buddy.
Will do.
Okay, here I am. Wait. Let's see. Claris plus Good Omens. Invincible and Prime. LMAO, I told you I used up all my references to that Aubrey Plaza show until 2020. Oh, okay. Well, you only have a couple more months for Legion to bug me about Legion. Oh, are you guys going to buy Young Justice Omnibus Volume 1? I'm definitely buying that, but I'm afraid when Volume 2 will be released. FF08 Omni 2 has yet to be announced. What? Somebody sell me on Young Justice. I'm totally open to it if it's written really well and it's fun. I just don't know much about Young Justice. I know about as much about Young Justice as I do this Faust ghost book that nobody seems to be able to find. Wait, Larry had something about friends that he said, besides my wife, I only have like 2 friends other than my online ones, but it's fine. Books are better anyway. Yeah, I was talking to Patty that I legit have more online friends, but I've also met them in person and hung out with them. So they're not just like online friends, as weird as that sounds. But I know so many more people through this form of communication and have gotten so many good friends out of it. That's why it's so much fun for me is talking to people. So books and online friends, I'm with you there, Larry. Too many friends can be annoying. They always want to do things. I'm not going to even argue about that. Ahoy Comics have a lot of Poe related work. This hobby making me more and this hobby making me more and more a homebody. No, he's they're looking for a bigger house somewhere in the Pittsburgh area. Yeah, I figured it out. Like you ever knew what outside was. I went outside for 2 hours the other day and came home with COVID. So yeah, and I know that pain from the flood. Yeah. Have you guys checked out Cosmic Detective by Lemire, Matt Kent, and Dave Rubin? I'm a sucker for anything by Rubin. It reminds me of Ether, but cyberpunk instead of fantasy. I have that from the Kickstarter, and I just haven't read it. Should I read that? Should I move it up in the delusional pile to more likely pile? Because I have an excellent to be read pile. It's not that big. It's like 12 books now. So I can definitely read that. Should I move Cosmic Detective to there? Oh, I love that, Bunkmaster, regarding Cosmic Detective. A real Kirby love letter, too. I did a review of that one. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. That sounds good. The animated show Young Justice. It's on Max, 4 seasons. Oh, the animated show. And that's where Clarion is? Okay. I have no reason to read it. The show made huge differences, but it is awesome. You dig it and Doom Patrol, but oof, too many shows. Yeah, I do want to see Doom Patrol. I have the first season on, well, it's not even 4K anymore. I think it's just Blu-ray, but I do want to see Doom Patrol. I'll give your video a watch from Bunk. The Kirby influence was very strong and put up front and very obvious. What happened is that DC stopped with big creator exclusivity contracts. That was a reference to why we see Jason Aaron and Stephanie Phillips and Kelly Thompson writing for both. Josh Greathouse. I bet Samney finds time to go outside and he's still doing Battober. Ooh, Bunk and Josh going at each other there in the chat. This is great. I figured I have to get Batman Eternal since my uncle gifted me all of Batman New 52 in 2020 with the exception of Batman Eternal and Batman Robin Eternal. I liked both those books. Some people did not. What are you going to do? That's right. Another Omnidog stream. It's a Jessathon. You mean Flash? What are we talking about? Here's Batman. I'm only familiar with the Young Justice animated series. Okay, that sounds like something I should watch. I think with online friends, easier to connect with what you enjoy. Yeah, and I definitely have found kind of my people that are all into this hobby. And it's been great because a lot of the people have been actually very nice and very kind. So that's a bonus. Sasmurf, original Young Justice by Peter David was great. A younger Teen Titans. Okay, so the Peter David one is good. Okay. Well, okay, Bunk and Josh are going after each other. You liking Ted Lasso a lot? Much must be interesting. It is American. The Amsterdam episode in season 3 is insanely good. I love Ted Lasso. We watched the whole first season last week, and we just started season 2 today. But it's my wife's going out of town for a week, so we won't be able to watch it for a little bit. But yeah, I love everything about it. It's hilarious and amazing. Random tangent. How is Matthew Perry's death taken in the U.S.? In India, he was ridiculously famous. Friends is one of the rare shows that is still famous here, even in small towns. That's interesting. I can't speak for America. I can only speak for myself, and saddened and shocked, but I don't know about the wider US. Maybe some people in the chat can speak to that. If I'm sure it was big headlines for quite a while, online and in print. Amanda, yes, let's preach that Young Justice show. Wait, mass market edition of what? Just came out and I'm loving it. Mass market edition of uh-oh. I'm not that far behind, am I? No, I'm only like 5 minutes behind. Mass market of oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Bunk. Okay, could he be any more loved? Yeah, I think a lot of people loved him. Loved his character. Like your t-shirt, Jess, is it comic related? Buddy, it's Harley and Ivy from their animated series. So yeah, because that's really all all my wardrobe is mostly comic book t-shirts now. Yes, watch Doom Patrol. Mainly my friends all work the super suit department. Oh, they had a hand in creating the super suits? It has a pretty strong cast, it sounds like. Don't read Young Justice. Why? Okay, wait. I'm missing something here. Oh. Bendis reference, but yes, that too. Online friends are great. They never get annoyed when you don't want to go to the bar. Well, I can't go to the bar with friends. I dropped Doom Patrol after season 2. Okay. Oh, Bunk and Cycle are going out for drinks. Jess, how was the build on Batman Eternal Omni? Was it unwieldy? Well, let's check it out. Let's get this out of the way. The microphone. I found it to be, what is that right there? Okay, that's just a random piece of paper. That's not pulling apart from the page block. I think it was fine. Oh man, I need to read this again. Yeah. I need to read this and Batman and Robin Eternal again. Yeah, no, I thought it was fine. I will say I did read Justice League Dark New 52. That was bigger than this. I didn't find this to be that unwieldy. It's well constructed. The binding's fine. The pages are fine. Gutter loss is okay. Let me see what the gutter loss is in like very first pages. Yeah, the gutter loss is reasonable. I need to read this again. So yeah, I think it's fine. And now that you had me pull the book out, I want to read it again. Oh, yeah, I wondered about that. I meant when Flash by Wade Volume 2 would come out. Okay, good. East 6th? You mean East 4th? You guys are going out for drinks? Freddie, I love that Young Justice show, and I can't believe it got canceled twice. Yeah, East 4th. Sorry, East 6th was the D-bag bar street in Austin, Texas. East 6th was the D-bag bar street. Okay. Since I can't drink, I'm not going to get mixed up in your bar hopping, but go for it. Oh, Nick, yeah, let's talk about that. Yes, you mentioned two really good bands in your Sick Hall video. Gulch, an aggressive hardcore band from Santa Cruz, and Military Gun, a punk adjacent band from LA. Where is that? Okay. That's this. Okay. I think you messaged me about this, Nick. Okay, that's great to know that an aggressive hardcore band from Santa Cruz, close to my hometown. Military Gun, a punk adjacent band from LA. Cool. Thanks for letting me know that. But Amanda, I'm hoping it'll get canceled a third time like Futurama. I feel like Futurama, yeah, it just keeps coming back, which is a good thing. I'm still way behind on it, but what am I not way behind on? Young Justice show is excellent. No one knows what Bunkmaster B is talking about. I think he's talking about bars. Young Justice season 1 and 2 is as good as any of the Timverse. Okay. Mega Shrempser. I cannot speak for the US, but it was a huge thing in Sweden. Friends is still really popular here too. Wow. I don't think I knew Friends was that popular outside of the US because I think it was based on a UK show, right? That is mass market edition of Cosmic Detective. You said you had the Kickstarter edition of the book and it just came out from Image. Okay, mass market of that book. I'm always 20 minutes behind in the chat, so now I understand what you were saying. So wait, you liked it, and so did Larry. Okay, good. I've got 12 books I have to read before that. Most of my favorite franchises won't get finished, LOL. In my corner of the world, people were greatly affected by Matthew Perry's death. It sounds like a lot of people all over the world were affected by it. That's pretty amazing. For one person to affect that many people, that's quite a testament to this person. Wild Hair, Young Justice animated series is great. They take some interesting twists with some classic stories. Doom Patrol is also amazing. Young Justice, the show is brilliant, and all the comics tie-ins are important, like the Avatar comics. Hopefully it gets a new season, but completes the tease from season 2 and season 4. Okay. Psycho Cleveland, getting the street wrong turned this into an actual discussion instead of a joke about how I was going to be annoyed at you for not wanting to grab a drink. Now I understand. Mr. Awesome says, Jess should like Young Justice. I do like Peter David's writing style. I have Maestro, Omnibus, and Janice Captain Marvel, to do an overview from Organic Price Books. And I looked at both of them ahead of time when I was relaxing the spine, and especially I have no idea what Janice any of that Captain Marvel stuff is. and it looked really interesting. And I could tell by some of the stuff that I read that it looked like it had a good sense of humor too. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Maestro, are those stories contained? Anybody out there? I'm asking, Mr. Austin. It could be you or Freddie. Freddie, you probably have the answer to that. If I have Peter David Hulk 1 through 5, do Maestro's separate though, isn't it? If I have 1 through, I have 1 through 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maestro's not included in those other Hulk books, right? I know maybe The End and Future Imperfect are. Somebody tell me what I'm talking about here. LOL, I don't even go to the bar after work with people. It really annoyed people for a while. Kim, my wife, says hello, just, hey, Kim, how's it going? And that she thinks it's always sadder when it's a comedian who dies. She took Robin Williams' death very hard. Okay, I understand that. And I know that Matthew Perry suffered from addiction and had written a book about it and really embraced the sober life and had really turned his life around. I read this is even hard for me to say, but I think he was up to like taking 50 Vicodin a day on set and doesn't even remember some of those days. So I think he really embraced sobriety and wanted to help people. So that's another angle, another facet of his personality that people embraced, it sounds like. You're welcome. 50 plus issues scare me. Yeah, I get it. Well, I'm not trying to get people to buy the book. An overview is simply an overview so people can decide for themselves. When I do a positive review about something like Superman Space Age, that's when I want them to buy it. But yeah, it is funny that I'm paging through Captain Marvel, Genus Vel, whatever, and it looks really good to me. Speaking of Batman Eternal, it's strange how Tiny Onion has surpassed Snyder as a writer. Okay. Okay, Bunk and Cycle are still talking about not going out to drinks for each other. Peculiar that DC is jumping around with the Wally Flash era instead of just committing to the raid run first. Everything's peculiar about DC. They need to get going on Superman Silver Age and Batman Silver Age. Chop. Like release 3 a year so I can get to the 1968 to 74 periods of both those characters that I love so much. I just covered What's the Furthest Place from Here in my most recent spooky video season. Such a great book. I have the comics, but I only have random 45s of some of the comics. I placed my order with DCBS 2 years ago for like 1 through 8 of the comics with the 45s, and they did not come through at all. That was the final nail in the coffin for me and DCBS. They let me down. Although they did send me this, they canceled a bunch of other stuff. I think I've only got 3 or 4 45s from the whole series when I should have had the entire series. Tiny Onion really got the Bat Fam in his detective run. You are 100% correct. That was a great Bat Family book. No, that's The Office. Oh, Oh, I thought Friends was based. Friends is one of the most popular comedies in the world, though. Okay. For some reason, I thought Friends was based on a UK series too. Batmanda, hey, I'm in that boat too. What boat was Batmanda in? What boat were you in at Batmanda? No, that's Mr. Awesome. How far up are you? Oh, most of my favorite franchises won't get finished. Well, I'm sorry about that. Okay. Jess, you're thinking of Coupling, which got a crappy US remake. Friends was an original US series. Okay. Well, I had no idea it was so popular all over the world. That's pretty interesting. Looking to try clothes, but stupid hoopla and comicsology got none. You know what? Cycle will kill me, and so will my Bay Area friends if I don't read Monica along with the other books that got chosen for me today in the Stacks of Shame with Bar. So I will sneak Monica in there to read anyway. It is weird that Flash by Loeb and LaRocque will come out before Wade Volume 2. I'm glad both came out, but DC is so slow with their releases. Thank you. You are 100% right. Thank you, Nman40. Just needs a Silver Age Batman Volume 2 and beyond, and Superman. 100% right. Maestro is awesome. Can be read by itself. I'd recommend Genis Vell after the Hulk Omnis. Why? Does Genis Vell bounce out of the Hulk Omnis? Because it looked all cosmic-y, very cosmic-y to me. Okay, so Maestro can be read by itself. Good. I will read that because it looked really boss. What are you talking about with Genis Vell and the Hulk Omnis? Explain yourself, Freddie. The thing about Friends and its syndication is that for 20 years it has been an entry point for a lot of non-native speakers throughout the world. Like people start watching English content with it. Interesting. Okay. I think Maestro is mostly the recent minis. Well, it's a lot of minis. It's like that. Maestro Omni has some double dipping. Okay, that's fine. Bunk, all right, I'm out of here. Have a good night, Jess. We'll figure out a time to stream soon. That'd be good, Bunk. Cycle, see you on East 4th for another 75 nuggets. Yeah, Bunk, we need to get together and do a video or consistently do videos because I want to show you that original art that I discovered that I had in my possession all those years. Maestro only double dips a bit in Hulk, but most of it is different new stuff. Okay, good. Now I'm really interested. Maestro does double dip a bit, but plenty of original content. Awesome. Peter David did some Maestro minis like the symbiote Spider-Man, okay. Peter David did some Maestro minis like the symbiote Spider-Man just before his new Joe Fix-It. Okay, I do have that Joe Fix-It trade. Wait, what was that comment about? I don't know. I have seen it. I haven't seen any of those movies, but I've seen it, and I've heard those movies are really good. Amen. 40. I'm surprised the Genis Vell Omni wasn't a top seller in IST. I think Gabe mentioned he thought people didn't buy it because they thought it was a Carol Danvers book. Yeah, I think he was teasing. I don't even remember his saying that. Why can't I read Genis Vell by itself? Frank Castle asks, in your opinion, Is Garth Ennis the definitive writer for The Punisher? Well, since it's only my opinion, I also really like Jason Aaron's Punisher Max series. But as far as really getting the character, I will say, yeah, I'll say that. He is the definitive writer for Punisher. Good question, Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. Yeah, good question. Yeah, I'm surprised Comixology doesn't have clothes. Miriam, hope your wife is doing well. Matthew Perry's lobbying to protect others is what really makes me sad. The loss of him is what makes you sad. Okay. Genisville doesn't bounce off of Hulk, but Rick does and follows a lot of storylines from there. Okay, that would be Rick Jones, right? Okay. Now you're making sense to me, Freddie. Okay, and I will give you credit in the overview for saying that, for informing people of that, telling them that they should read Peter David 1 through 5 first. I will give you credit. Thank you for that nugget. Couple of nuggets there that'll help me in the overview. Yeah, I've heard before that people learn English from watching Friends. Okay. Boomstick? I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. Can you flesh that out? Give me a little more color on it? Tell me what you mean? I mean, if you want to read Geniusville by itself, go ahead, LMAO. You can ignore or Google Rick Jones' storyline. No, that's not how it works. I take my advice from you. So that's fine. I will do it after Peter David's Hulk. Who wrote Punisher Meets Archie? I think that was peak. War for Planet of the Apes is one of my fave franchise movies of the last decade. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Josh Greathouse. No, the Punisher peak was the Frank Castle turns into a black guy but gets over it after a few issues storyline. What? Really Peter David 1 through 4. 5 is extra stuff. Yeah, that's just like random issues and things put in there. Okay. Peter M said that most, if not all, of the Maestro stuff is like what if material. Okay, well, I still want to read that. That new Planet of the Apes trailer makes me want to watch the previous 4 I missed. This is the 5th one? Wow. I'm so far behind. You could be kidding or you could be serious. Either way, I believe you. Rick Jones back then. No. Razor. Hi, just not able to stay and watch, but glad you're feeling better and back to doing shows. Thank you so much, Razor. I appreciate that. It feels good to feel good. Okay. Ghost Machine is Jeff Johns' new creator-owned company that will house his unnamed universe and a couple other separate universes. As soon as they get collected, I'm willing to take a shot. Sure. Jeff Johns is a good writer. Love his stuff. Jess, I was being sarcastic. Yes, it is a real Punisher storyline, but it is about as crappy as you might imagine. Okay. Maestro is great. It's up there for me with 2099 Volume 2. Jess, you aren't behind. You march to your own drum. Boy, thank you. Some of the good long-running superhero stuff I have read recently is Boom's Power Rangers, but it's a hard sell because the show was so silly and immature. I was serious. Not that it matters. No, I believe you. Peter David, Hulk Volume 5 isn't necessary, but I highly recommend reading the Tempest Fugit story in Volume 5, which is probably his last great Hulk story. Well, I have Volume 5, so I might as well read it someday. Uh-oh, he's catching up. Hellboy. I know I do want to get a full-scale assault on Hellboy. That's an awful lot of stuff, but I would like to read it. It is an awful lot of stuff for me to comprehend. But I should take it in smaller chunks. Instead of looking at it like this, I'll just look at it smaller. So actually, I'm exhausted now, and I need to get upstairs and go to sleep at some point. So please remember to go to Organic Price Books. Use code Omnidog for $2 off. 5% shipping off 4 more books together. Omnidog ship it together. And oh yeah. Whoops, wait a minute. When are we doing the singles show? Or we have Freddie and I have about 10 separate show ideas. Let's try and figure that out. It needs to be on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon before football, until football season's over with. But yeah, Freddie, you and I have a ton of great, and we need to do that Al Ewing one. Yeah, we have a bunch of great ones we can do. But peace and love. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate everybody tuning in again. A lot of you tuned in again from this afternoon, which I really appreciate. Thank you for watching both shows. Thank you everybody for your well wishes. And I always feel better after I do a show because it's just fun to talk to people. So thank you so much. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to Organic Price Books. Thank you to the minister. Thank you to people watching this afterwards. Thank you to upper level management for putting up with me. Peace and love. Peace and love. I will use my theme song to play us out. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This was really great. Peace and love.
Baturdays, Baturdays, Baturdays. Omnidog and the minister of comics talk forever, get right your ergonomics. Taking questions from the chat with a name like that, you think they talk more about the fact. Baturdays.